Welcome back to the Top 6 show. It will be an action-packed night this evening. So strap yourselves in, get the popcorn out, get the drinks ready. Newcastle United will lose by most accounts. Alexander Isak. Saudi have been ruled out. Liverpool were going to get it done. Sesko, though, is the replacement. Those conversations have begun. We're going to delve into that. Ollie Watkins to Manchester United is another conversation we need to have on the show. Is that enough for the Reds to improve this summer? We're talking Eze as well. This news has gone under the radar in the last few hours. According to reports, has told friends and family he will be joining Arsenal Football Club as well. We're going to touch on Tottenham. They've done one deal so far, but they're up in court, so not much else going on with those boys at the minute. But sadly, we couldn't find any Newcastle fans for tonight's show because have you guys been in the group chat? You're all in the Top 6 group chat. The meltdowns are crazy. But this is, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say very quickly, this is what happens when I said this about 3 weeks ago. Live in a world where he may leave because you'll handle it better when he goes. This delusion that every Newcastle fan worth his salt laboured under for 3 months. Nah, the owner said he won't go. The player loves the club. He said he loves the club. He won't be leaving. All any of us ever said to you is, one, that Liverpool knock is different compared to Newcastle, and just prepare yourselves. But it has been a bad summer for Newcastle, missing out on all their number one targets. They're losing Isak. Liverpool also took their number one striker. They've signed the Langer, though, for 55 million. We're talking that. We've got a brilliant panel for you today. Man like Doobs is back with us. Tom Little is here, fresh out the shower after the news today. He's feeling lucky. Double A is back with us again. It's great to have you back, my friend. Chatty Patty, back on the Football Terrace tonight. Canadian Cam is here with us again. And the Right Honourable David, how do you say surname? Shirinwa is with us as well today. Big panel, big panel. Been struggling for panels recently, but a massive panel tonight. Absolutely. Make sure everyone's hitting that like button. Make sure everybody is subscribing to the channel. But we've got to start with the big news. Isak, very likely now to be leaving Newcastle. The transfer request has been handed in. Who wants to take it away?
Can I, please?
Yes, Cam.
What a joke of a fucking club. I'm sorry. And people, oh, you're a United fan. Well, shut the fuck up. These people, I'm sorry, years ago when they got bought, I was told, oh, everybody watch out. They're going to have money. They're going to come in a few years' time. I had to sit on stream after stream being like, why would players choose United over Newcastle? Why would they? I don't know. You tell me. It's happening left, right, and center. And Mbeumo was the first one. People forget that. You mentioned the other ones. The first rejection was Mbeumo because they wanted him, and he was like, I'd rather go to United, who finished 15th and have no Champions League football. And I'm going to be honest, our runway to getting back isn't really there yet. It's nowhere in sight. But he's like, I'd still rather that. Husang was the only one who's really consistent on why would anybody choose.
Sorry. I was wanting to interrupt very quickly. It's in the news. R.I.P. to Hulk Hogan, who's passed away. Oh, what? Childhood, man. Yeah, Hulk Hogan's just died.
No way.
What a wrestler. That's when I used to watch it as a kid. R.I.P. Hulk Hogan. Sorry, back to you, Cam. Sorry, back to roasting Newcastle.
Yeah,
Sorry.
So at the end of the day, for me, it's like this is where prestige and this is where heritage matters. Like there's no sport where it matters more. And to be honest, there is no sport that matters more than football at the end of the day. And it's so clear here. It's like all the oil money, whatever they want, it didn't matter. Oh, we've got a steady manager. Look, we've been able to turn water to gold with all these players. It was all going to fizzle out. And this is the biggest joke for me, because for me, I'm sitting there. Of course, I'm pissed off. I'm not happy that I'm going to have to watch Isak go to Liverpool. That's the fucking worst case scenario. So I'm going at the club who's doing it. You want to be taken serious, and you're out here being like, here you go. Here's our best. Just pay the fucking dude so he stays an extra year and then get like, for me, I can't fathom how big of a joke you must be. Like, if you are Bruno G, if you are any of these players sitting there, you're basically being like, oh, so that was a fun 2 years. Because it's over. Like, let's keep it a buck. It's over. Like, if they lose Isak, great. They walk into the Champions League for what reason? To do what? Literally to go there and lay down. That's what it is. It's the same with Sorry, like the way Tottenham ended up winning, getting in the UCL and only making one signing. I'm not going to go at Tottenham, but I'm just saying, like, why get into the UCL and then move this way? You wanted to spend 55 M's on Elanga, fucking up the whole market. That was worse than the Madueke deal, in my opinion. Like, I'm sorry. People, like, I had to sit back and watch people talk shit about, oh, look at United. They weren't able to sell Elanga for 55. Did you watch him at United? Cool. He went to Forest, and he was a decent player on the counter. That's what he did. He scored on the counter. He was good on breaks. You go and draw 55 M's for a dude who, when you saw him in the big time, could barely break in. I'm sorry. When he played for us, but I digress. Newcastle isn't the big time. They're not the big time. I'm seeing people post, look at how happy he is at Newcastle. Yeah, because it's the biggest move he's probably going to get in his career, but he was nowhere near worth 55 M's. You missed out on every target, every single target. I've never seen this before. Every single target, and they've got money to spend. They have a good team, apparently. Either way, for me, absolute joke of a team. Joke of a team. I cannot believe they're just handing. In my opinion, Liverpool gets Isak. Cool. Like, it'll be a fun race, but they're going to win. Like, you have to keep it a buck. If you look at top to bottom, unless people get injured, a team that goes year over year with a manager who has now had more time to work with these players. He still has all of the generational pieces. He still has his time. And you're going to have, in my opinion, the best all-around striker. The best all-around striker in the league. And you're going to add that to that. Plus a young striker that you dumbasses, instead of just going and get him to make it so, you could have easily they could have easily got Ekitike and then gone, you know what, cool, we at least replaced him. No, you let Liverpool go and snatch your team not once, but fucking twice. Joke club. I'm done.
Just after that rant, sorry, a tweet. First of all, everyone just go and check Matt Law's Twitter feed for a moment, please. It's the biggest transfer bomb of the week. Everyone just go look at it, please. Just go look at Matt Law's Twitter. Hopefully it's not been deleted.
What? Oh, that's unfortunate. You got hacked.
He's either been hacked or he went to write bomber and it came out as boobs. I don't know why it's come out of the way, but Craig Hope has just released a story that Liverpool are poised to make a record bid for Isak and are readying a formal approach. One that happens Newcastle have to make a decision with. Well, we know what that means, but Liverpool here, Double A, looking to put a British record transfer fee bid in for Isak. Thoughts? They reckon it's going to be around 120 million to start with.
We might as well just all go home if they go and get Isak in it, which is the worst thing imaginable. Like, what a summer that is for Liverpool. Like, just the Galacticos of the Premier League, aren't they? If they go and buy him, this is the worst. Like, it's no stopping them, is there really? Like, what are you competing with Isak up top with Ekitike, Wirtz, and Salah? Listen, Cam's right. Newcastle will always only ever be a team that are teetering on the edge of being a big club. They're never really in the conversations. Even when you think back to the 90s when they were challenging, it's fleeting. It's a Leicester, wasn't it? Let's be honest with ourselves. And they never really got really that close to winning it. So nothing's changed. Nothing's changed despite all the money. But Tom can smirk all he wants as well, by the way. But it makes me it makes me very, very sad that they're just ripping up this league and this transfer window. It's definitely been one for Liverpool fans to be really, really happy, despite obviously stuff going on and what happened in regards to Jota and stuff. It's nice to see him being able to smile in certain aspects. And Cam says it'll be an interesting race. I don't think it will. It'll be like Usain Bolt against a bunch of year fives or something like that. I don't even think it's going to be that interesting of a race. I sit on the outside as a Manchester United fan. I almost feel like an imposter being in this panel because, Terry, what are we doing here, mate? Like, how could we even chat to any of these? Like, we're here struggling to get Watkins or Mateta, or we need signings, we need players, and to see all these clubs just go out, Chelsea going and get Simmons now, Spurs I think even Spurs talking about Garnacho and stuff like that. I've seen Spurs fans saying, "Hear me out" to Garnacho, and we're here wondering if we can sell players. Never mind bring players in. So,
can I recommend a striker?
Fuck off.
No, you absolutely cannot. No, you absolutely cannot.
Only 70, 80 mil. That's all we asked for. Nicholas Jackson, he's yours. 70, 80 mil. That's all we asked for.
Can you put him on a timeout, sorry, please? I don't want to hear Jackson's name and Manchester United together.
It's crazy. I hear you. What are you making of this, Chatty Patty? Because they're just, Arsenal have made some big signings so far this summer, and we're going to get on some more of theirs later. City, 3 signings this summer, but they've spent the better part of 400 to 500 million since January. But it just feels to a lot of people that what Liverpool are doing is just a cut above the rest right now.
Yeah, Liverpool ain't messing about, man. I mean, they walked the league last year. Let's be real. I know Arsenal finished second, but Liverpool won the league in like March. Do you know what I mean? They took a month off, won the league, lost a couple games, relaxed. They were chilling, and now they've strengthened and gone from strength to strength. And obviously, you look at Arne Slot having another year under his belt with the players he's bringing in, all top class players that make the team better. So, yeah, it's looking. I mean, obviously, the Isak one's not done yet. They've still got to go through the whole negotiation stage and, put the bid in, this and that. But Liverpool look like they're not messing about, and more than likely Isak will leave. He's already said he wants to leave. He's not with the squad, so the signs are there, isn't it? So yeah, it's going to be very hard for the rest of it. It's great from a fan standpoint to see the quality of the Premier League. Like you look at Double A's just said it. Every team strengthened and is looking strong. The big 6 essentially are just going to get bigger and stronger and move away from the rest of the league. That's what it's looking like, really. And you're just seeing those kind of clubs poach the best players from all the rest of the clubs. So, yeah, the money in the Premier League is crazy. I think just looking at the teams in the Champions League and the teams in Europe, how well they performed last year, and most teams will strengthen. It is crazy. So from that point, it's great. But yeah, I just think... Yeah, your Arsenals, your Chelseas, you two clubs have got to really step it up, man, because Liverpool are a country mile ahead right now. So yeah,
I might be the only person on the planet that doesn't agree with this, but I just don't see how it all works. I think there's too many chefs in the kitchen. I just think there's too much going on. Honestly, I don't even
rotation.
I don't think either. But Patrick, let me finish my point. Jeez. Oh my God.
Land.
First of all, I just Salah. Well, we got Salah, Ekatike, Isak. It's just, and there's Gakpo, and then there's Elliot, and there's just so many guys.
David, sorry to cut off, David, but you've got a lot of cheek as a Chelsea fan to come in and say, "Oh, I don't see where all the players."
Yeah, I'm sitting here.
You've been non-stop.
No,
your club's been non-stop for 3 years.
Again,
the players are left wing, right wing.
Hold on, jeez, man, didn't even let me land. Nothing. Just cheek. You're a Chelsea fan. I'm just saying. I just think it's a lot of people who are demanding first team minutes going into a squad. And when we talk about squad cohesion and all this, that got labelled at my club when we were signing loads of people. I just think for Liverpool, I think there's just too much going on. I just don't see how it all fits. I don't. Unless they're going to play, if they might play 4-4-2, but even I'm like...
I don't think we'll play 4-4-2. I don't think we'll play 4-4-2, but I only need it for one game, and it's the second game of the season at St James's Park. I need Arne Slot to walk into that stadium and play 4-4-2 with Isak and Ekatike up top. I don't care what happens after that tactically. That game only.
Can I say something in rebuttal to David's point? The difference between Liverpool and when Chelsea done it is Chelsea signed a lot of unproven kids that they wasn't sure that it's actually going to work out. Liverpool signing players like Isak, they're signing players like Vert, they're signing players like Frimpong, like proven players where it's more likely going to work out, and they're like the top quality in their position. So that's why it's different to the way Chelsea were doing it.
A proven player?
Well, he isn't. So at the end of the day,
he's one of the league.
He's a proven player.
He's a proven player.
He's won the league by Leverkusen.
He's a proven.
David, Isak has a pretty bad injury record, to be honest. It's not the greatest. So at the end of the day, and I think Liverpool, if they want to stay in and around this perch, the key thing is why Liverpool's so good is their spine. Like at the end of the day, it's Salah, it's Van Dijk, it's Alisson. Trent was part of that. I know Tom's still upset about it, but it was those players. Salah's going to leave at some point. He is like 30. How old is he, Tom? He's like
33.
33. Like he's, I think, year maybe max 2. So
he's got 2 years left. So
like,
he'll do this last 2 years. And then
he'll do his last 2 years. I have to assume in year 35, 34, he's going to look he's not going to look like this. He's going to have a bit of a slowdown. I have to assume, just human nature, your body starts to break down a bit. Then they don't have to go out and panic and figure out they're already going to have guys in. They can figure out what they're going to need to do. Gakpo's going to get sold probably. Like Liverpool has no problem playing a dude for a year or two and then being like, okay, fine, you can go now. Once they became good again, they had no problem cycling players through. So if Gakpo's not happy, he'll just leave. But a lot of players do look at a team like that. The thing is, you saw it when Arsenal signed Gyökeres. Everybody got happy. They're all throwing up the whatever. When a team's that good and you're sitting there and you're like, hey, I get to play every 3 games. I get to win stuff. I get to be in a good environment and have fun. Now we're winning. Guys don't tend to care and Liverpool is pretty decent at rotating. Like Gakpo rotated quite a bit with Jala, rest in peace, and all those guys last year. All these dudes got minutes. They were all playing from what I remember. Like I tuned in here and there on Liverpool games and I saw everybody play. So why would that change? Because TK's young. So it's easy to be like, listen, take your time. Like we don't need to put you in every single game. If Liverpool wants to win every competition, which they do, they're not Arsenal. They want to win every competition. They're going to use all these guys. They're going to have like 60, 70 games probably, right?
I'm struggling to
and it's not, again, you get
how you sign someone for 80 mil and tell them you're going to be a backup.
Because you have the money. Because you have the money and you have a succession plan.
If you're trying to compete and win on all fronts, then you can do it.
You're struggling to see it because you're looking at the valuation of modern day players. I'll give you an example why I think this works at Liverpool. Liverpool, I agree. So I've been called a hypocrite the last 24 hours when I've said that both can work at Liverpool. You said it couldn't work at Newcastle. Yes, because Liverpool and Newcastle are not the same thing. I don't like using the word educate because it sounds a little bit pompous. But I want to keep pushing this message that we cannot keep comparing all clubs to each other like we're all the fucking same. Newcastle and Liverpool are not the same. They're both football clubs. That's where the similarities end. They're a different breed of football club to each other. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer throughout the 90s. Now, he didn't cost 90 million, but he was still a fairly sizable transfer when you consider the record fee at that point for a striker in England was about 8 million quid, right? So he was still a decent purchase. So was Teddy Sheringham. We already had Andy Cole, that was the British record striker at the time. We then went and signed Dwight York. And for multiple years, it kind of chopped and changed who the main starter was. Andy Cole was typically always the main guy, barring when he got injuries. But you had times where Solskjaer weren't seeing starts for weeks and months, it felt like. You had times where Teddy Sheringham was the main guy, times when he wasn't. At a club like Liverpool, they'll be able to get that balance right. Because I think we're living in a time now where you get a handful of really arrogant players. I've got to play every week no matter what's going on. You get a handful that are so good, they start every single week. But there's 60 games a season. There's 5 subs per game that can be made. Ekitike's still quite young and can play multiple positions. He can go out wide. They've got more than enough room to do it. Plus, being at a team that's now capable of winning the league every year, Champions League every year, every domestic trophy they're in, being on the bench for Liverpool is more attractive than being the starter for Newcastle. So I do see it as being very different at a club like Liverpool compared to a Newcastle, compared to a Tottenham, compared to an Everton. And Spurs are bigger than those two teams in the modern day world as well. But it is still different. There are certain teams, right? My club, Man United, holds that ability if we're competing. But there are only Man Uniteds. You've probably got City that fit in that category now as well, and Chelsea. You've got Madrid. You've got Bayern. Maybe I don't even know PSG because league-wise, it ain't that competitive. Genuinely, I look at it. There's a handful of clubs in the world that, if the longer they give, and listen, the reason why Liverpool haven't been able to hold on to players or didn't sign the stars, it never had anything to do with Paul, who they were. It was what they were willing to pay. And at the end of the day, someone tried this in United the other day, going, "Oh, you're only going to get in Burmo because you're paying him the wages." Well, look at fucking PSG's wage bill. Look at Real Madrid's wage bill. People don't sign for Real Madrid to not earn good money. It's so weird. Every big player and every big club has the biggest wage bill. Sorry, every big club has the biggest wage bill, have the big wage bills. Why? Because you have to pay the going rate for the best players around. It's part of the allure. At the end of the day, that's why they're able to do it. So for me, I think it'll work for at least the next 3 years. Maybe in 3 years' time, if Ekitike is as good as Isak or whatever, he might be like, listen, guys, I've loved it here, but Real Madrid are calling and they might be able to cash in on him. But I don't think they're going to have any problems with rotation, with keeping people happy, because, when you're at the top, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, 4 years running, was linked with a move to Tottenham, and he turned it down. I think he said since, it wasn't disrespectful to Spurs. It was, I'd rather be on the bench winning Premier Leagues than a first teamer in a team finishing mid-table. Now, he might have got them higher than mid-table in the 90s, but it was a bigger attraction. I'm not going to sort of be a hypocrite here and now move the goalpost because it's Liverpool. They're going to hold on to these players as long as they pay. The only reason the shit with the contracts went crazy with Van Dijk and Salah and everything else is they didn't offer the money. As soon as they offered them the right money, they signed. It's about money. They've got the cash. They've got the pool. They're in the title races. Yeah, this is it's sickening. It's sickening, but it's very good.
There's two things. I think the first thing, no player at a Big Six club should be comfortable in their position, no matter who you are, and that's how players improve, in my opinion. And the second thing is, like with David, have you seen how many attackers we have, and we're about to sign Javi Simmons, and we're still looking at Garnacho, even though I don't want him anywhere near.
Viva Garnacho! Come on.
Yeah,
like, 80 mil.
One of them being one of them being the Prem, one of them being the Champions League.
The problem is that, again, you highlighted it yourself. We are signing youngsters who are trying to improve. They are signing proven players. Proven players come with the, I want to play now because I've proven myself already. So to use us as parallels is not fair.
I disagree.
Just saying.
I mean, I would say that Ekitike is about as proven as Xavi Simmons.
Yeah, so I think there's two parts of it though. It's not just
you got done there, David.
I think the key word is maturity too.
But again, we're starting João Pedro. We signed him for 60 mil.
But
David, João Pedro is coming in to be a starter. So but for 80 mil, they expect him to be a starter.
David, your younger players haven't made a mark in the game yet, right? So there's a lot of guys like I can imagine Aquenda coming in and he's going to be sitting on the bench, and after a year and he never plays, he's going to be like, what am I doing here? My career's stalling. And the pathway thing, I agree with Terry on this. So it's like, for my club, I don't care. If you're good enough, I'll put you in. If you're not, you sit on the bench. Like, I actually don't care about pathways for players, but the players care. And I think when you're looking at like an Isak's got all of his moves, and now the one thing he wants to do is win, right? That's it. You look at like a Frimpong. He did the unthinkable in Bayer Leverkusen. Now he's like, I just want to go win and be back in the Prem. I understand he's from that area and all that. You look at some of ththese guys, like they're getting to a team that wins Champions Leagues. They've won multiple. They're clearly the favorites to win the league, the most important league in the world, the biggest league, all that. And Ekitike sitting there being like, Salah's gone in 2 years. Okay, cool. I slot right in. Like, there's so many different pathways, whereas you guys have this glut of players who are all going to be, it's like the Joker scene, man. They break the pole cue, throw it in the middle. Let's see who comes out. That's what you guys are doing. And it's very clear that's what you're doing, which is fine. But players, I think after a while, are going to get frustrated because they're like, I'm not dethroning Cole Palmer, right? I'm not dethroning João Pedro now. Is like all of a sudden locked in. Delap could dethrone him, sure. But on your wings, you have 6 players who, it's not even about dethroning the guy. Nobody knows who the guy is. Like, who is the guy? So there's not even that pecking order to be like, people can say Salah's gone in 2 years. That spot I can go for, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's very clear the pathways where your team, it's not. It's
I also think with us as well, we just have. I see Isak and Ekitike if they're playing in up front, playing it slightly differently, so it gives a little bit of tactical flexibility there. Ekitike can also do a job on the left. And I think that's a position that he'll play a lot. I wouldn't be shocked now if the Isak deal means that we don't go out and buy a left winger and we just sort of say to Ekitike, that's you. We'll have Gakpo and Isak, and you'll get your minutes up front or you'll get your minutes on the left. And you'll still get an awful lot of minutes. I mean, if we're trying to compete in all these competitions, which you have to be now because you're spending so much money, you're going to be playing close to 60 games a season. We know Isak isn't exactly the most durable, footballer on the planet. So Ekitike is still going to get a number of starts up front. Gakpo picks up an injury or two a season. He's going to get a number of starts on the left. I'm sure he'll be fine getting the minutes in and done and dusted. And then it's for us to figure out which youngsters we can use to pick up the extra minutes in the early rounds of the cups. Outside that, I think we'll be fine with it. I don't think we would have signed to Ekitike if we knew that he would be upset if we brought Isak as well. I think there would have been at least some inclination that he's okay being the second string for a year or two, because I do think ultimately Gakpo's only got. I don't think Ekitike will go to the right. I think that's something that we'll buy someone for the right when Salah goes, but I wouldn't be shocked if in about 2 years' time when Gakpo goes, Ekitike goes onto the left and makes that spot his own. If Isak is still, banging the goals up front, I think it just gives us so much flexibility and succession planning, which is something that we've badly needed for a number of years. So I'm fully on board with it.
I think it's a great tactic. And David, you're saying about they're buying players to come in now, but you got to remember all these players they're buying are under 25. Like they're not near their peak. Is what not buying 27, 28-year-olds. You've got a couple of years to get better and better. They're coming in because they're starters, and it's the right tactic to do. And you got to remember they're not stacking talent. They're not like you just buying and buying and buying. Trent's gone. Obviously rest in peace Jota. Diaz looks like he's going. Nunes is going. So they're replacing players that are probably worse than them. They're coming in and improving the squad massively. And I hate saying it, but
Isak is
the way. Oh, it's 26. I thought it's 25. So all right, okay. 1 over 25 then. All right, okay. But 22-year-old, 23-year-old, 24-year-old, it's still the right tactic to be doing. Do you know what I mean? So, and that's what you need to be doing. People talk about buying squad players. I hate that. You should be every player you should be buying should be going into your first team and putting your first team onto the bench. That's the way big clubs.
Completely.
That's how big clubs do the business. You're meant to be buying players for your first team.
You always want to look to improve your team. Like as I just said, no player should be comfortable in their position. You could be like Salah. You could be like you know what I mean. Anyway, like no one should be comfortable.
Your team doesn't mean you therefore have to improve your first teamer. I completely disagree with that.
Well, typically Double A's right, David, because if you're buying players that dislodge the current first team player, then your team gets stronger and better. So of course you can go and buy a squad player or two that fills a gap. But he's right in that sense. If I see like Richarlison or Solanke not scoring goals, I want a striker that will come in and put them on the bench. The same with any. So I agree with it. That's how you get better.
Isak's 25, by the way, David.
Yeah, no, I hear that.
He's 25. It literally
26 at the start of the season.
Yeah.
So is it he's 25 till he's 26? He's not having that argument. He's 25.
He's 26.
I'm looking at it right now.
25.
He's 25 and he's 25 and 306 days old. By the start of the season, he'll be 26.
Technically speaking, when he makes his Liverpool debut, he'll be 25.
Yeah. Anyway, right. Anyway, this here says some people think Liverpool are going to walk the league with Isak, but their defense is suspect. Wouldn't rule out a move for Isak to Madrid or PSG.
You think Madrid are spending money?
Yeah, they're waiting for. They're doing a free transfer. They'll get him. They're getting him on free in 5 years. What do you guys make of that? Does everybody think Liverpool is going to walk the league now?
No,
I wouldn't say walk the league, but they'll win it. It's going to be. I think you'll see.
I don't see City having another bad season like they did last season. But I think
City will be good. Arsenal will be good now they got Gyökeres. I know David doesn't rate him, but Gyökeres is still a brilliant signing in my opinion. And dare I say it, I think we can put in a decent charge. I'm not saying we're going to win it, but I think Liverpool will win the league. Yeah,
it's all down to the head-to-heads because, like, the way I see it is Chelsea, Arsenal should beat most teams, right? Like they should be beating the other teams. It's gonna, I think, for me, and City should be somewhat back, but they look shaky still. But I think the head-to-heads are going to be so important. Like if obviously they're going to lose games here and there. But it could be like a 3-loss season for Liverpool. It could be like a 2. Like it could be one of those seasons that they're on paper they're that good.
We've got the team for it.
It all comes down to injuries too, because like you never know. People get hurt, things happen, and nobody's wishing injuries on anybody. But Salah goes down, it changes the calculus a bit, right?
Put it this way: Liverpool aren't the only team that have had a good transfer window. They've just had an absolutely unbelievable one. But other teams, Arsenal, I think, have had a good transfer window. Now they brought in the striker. Chelsea have, City have.
But I think that the point on that though would be so all the teams around us are pretty decent windows. So Chelsea probably had the best window outside of Liverpool, I think. Even though I do think that the signings that you've made and you're looking like you're going to make with Hasso and Simmons are really good pickups. Arsenal, Yeah, good signings, address the problem area with Gyökeres. City fix the midfield. But like you said, Liverpool have done a fucking madness. We've got Florian Wirtz, who was a massive creative 10. Isak and Ekitike for goals. And I think people are forgetting, our fullbacks last year, Trent didn't really give a shit. And Robertson was a bit shit. So now we've got two really good fullbacks in there. That's going to bring the level up itself. The problem is that it's not like we're the ones that are playing catch up. We've just, in theory, lengthened that gap even more. I think for us, walk the league's a strong term, but last year we put together like the 7th longest unbeaten run in the competition's history with no signings. So now that we got this squad together,
I want to be careful of the narratives, though, right? So I want to be careful of the narrative here. So, and this is just for people, like we cover all clubs. If the narratives create, so for instance, Arteta out as I'm talking to you specifically, and I think you'll get where I'm going with this. If Arteta out and say the league's already over, you then can't say there's no excuse for Arteta. Which is it? So be very careful the narrative you set early on this. I'm just putting it out there, right? Feel free to do what you want, right? I'm just giving you a little bit of food for thought because you'll get cooked. You can't say the league's say the league's over. Terry, go on.
I just think you can have two teams that must win the league and one won't.
I think with the Arteta outers as well, I think they just want a trophy.
No, I
they
do
want
get
a
that.
They don't, though. They don't.
Sorry, Tom, one sec. Tom, sorry, one sec, Tom. David, I hear you, right? That both have got the pressure to win it. I agree with you. But in terms of, I don't want to hear any excuses as to why Arteta can't win the league, or I don't want to hear any excuses to why City can't win the league. You then in the next breath can't say, no one else can win it, Liverpool are too good, because that's literally an excuse. So you've got to be very careful with your narrative, in my personal opinion. That's all I'm putting out there for podcasters, young YouTubers, TikTokers. You don't want to be getting clipped up and looking crazy. Like, for me, I don't think they will walk it. I think it's brilliant. I think they're the outright leaders for it. Where I don't think they'll walk it because I think Arsenal and I think City are going to respond. Arsenal have already gone and got Gyökeres. They're going to go and get. It looks like they're going to go and get Eze. Will they go and get the Rodrygo? They land those targets. They're in that race seriously. City are a bit interesting at the minute. They've done nothing since going out of the Club World Cup, barring maybe bring back a bang average goalkeeper in James Trafford. I just can't imagine them not adding more quality to their. I mean, it might get worse for Newcastle because they might take Livramento away from them as well, right? But I just think there's got to be a reaction here from Arsenal. There's got to be a reaction from Man City. Chelsea have done really good business as well, and I wouldn't completely write them off. What I would say is that it's clear to me that they're the favourites, Liverpool, and they should have the most pressure on them to win the league from here. You can't drop what in the end is going to be the best part of 400 million, be the champions, and then suddenly try and do some bullshit, we're leopards in a tree crap. Like, you've got to be the favourites from that point. That's what I would say to it. So, but just saying, be careful of the narratives you all set early. Yes, sorry, Norbs, go on.
I can say, going back to the thing about Arsenal, I think I speak to a lot of Arsenal fans because where I live, I'm surrounded with them. Like the ones that are Arteta outs and the people on the space, I'm not going to mention names. They're not all about. They just want a trophy. Their thing is like, it's been 5 years under Arteta. They haven't got to any finals, and they're saying all the teams around them winning trophies, even Tottenham, who won a Europa League. So if they can win a trophy, they'll be satisfied with Arteta. And yes, they want to win the league. Obviously, they do. Who doesn't want to win the league? But it's like their thing is, you know how I feel about trophies, yeah. But they're on a similar wavelength. They just want a trophy like silverware.
They won't though. Because what will happen is let's say they win the Carabao Cup. There'll be the initial sort of yay, and then you'll get the same people going, why are we 6 years into a project? No, we've got a Carabao Cup. We should have a league at this point.
I think they got to win multiple domestic cups if it's good, or a big one.
The detractors won't be happy.
The people that don't like Arteta, of course, they're going to move the goalpost. Why? It's social media. The goalposts always get moved, doesn't it? It's why now, and you've all seen this on streams you've been on. It's why a lot of people that are angry when you say, "Well, explain what would make you happy," barring win all the trophies. The response is normally, why are you asking me that? Why do you want to know the details for? Why are you challenging me for? Because they don't want to be put into a corner where they have to admit their expectations were met. So the answer is often now just they don't want to give it. I'll tell you that at the end of the season. Well, yeah, of course. What do you mean when you conveniently move the goalpost so you can keep moaning? But that's social media. It's fair. Like it's like the Arteta out as the inners are the same. Well, we've got to apply context. Yeah, but you can give us a loose idea of what you expect. Well, The world could come to an end. Aliens could invade. I don't know. Both sides do it, so they don't lose the debate. It is what it is. I've got a few more super chats here. This from AJ that says that we need to remember that Newcastle already rejected 120 million from Liverpool. If United are serious, they can bid 5 million plus Garnacho, Rasmus, Sancho, and Cass. That's well over 200 million.
Put some first round picks in there as well. If we're doing that much of a trade, let's put some first round picks in there.
Give him some shares in the club as well.
Yeah, some shares in the club. Do everything. We could lend Newcastle a few of our trophies. We could do something. Do you know what I mean? Lend them a bit. I don't know. Sell them some of our history. That'll be the next thing Chelsea do. The next thing Chelsea do is sell some records. We sell our goal scoring record from 2005. We're going to sell it to a club for half a billion or something.
Yeah, and someone will buy it, and you'll all complain.
Hi, new to this channel. I'm a Liverpool fan and excited about the signings they have made, but would like to say RIP to Hulk Hogan, as he's just recently passed away. Yeah, I was actually reading it. I read somewhere that he's had an operation and came out of the operation brain dead or something, which is terrible news. Congratulations, commiserations to him and his family. I meant commiserations. I'm so sorry, that slips out wrong. And then now Double A's laughing, it's sending me off. I apologize. It always reminds me of this. It's a brilliant scene in Only Fools and Horses where Del Boy's cuddling his girlfriend Raquel and they're having a baby. And she says, "You happy with Del?" And he says, "I'm the happiest I've been ever in my life, because if I was any happier, I'd be dangerous." He says, "This is the happiest moment of my life. Since my mum died, really." And he gets his laugh because what he actually means is the biggest thing in his life ever. But it meant his mum dying. But you got to watch Only Fools to get it. I can't really make to it justice. Anyway, this says, "Hi, as a Liverpool fan, we don't even have to say anything anymore. Just smile and wave. Just smile and wave." Which is worse, us getting AI or knowing
Isak.
Oh, is that what it is? I was reading it like AI, the computer thing.
Yeah, we ain't doing that,
Isak, or knowing we can't do anything about it. You can't do anything about it. Still, Arsenal and Chelsea are favourites, as all of our signings are scrubs and don't work together.
Can we never call him AI again? There's one AI. That's
I'd avoid doing.
That's a weird super tweet.
But you know what? I can't agree with this. We're going up against the world champions here, people. Maybe we can't handle it. These are the world champions.
Respect it. Respect. That's a serious.
We're on the English champions.
In a couple of years,
no one respects it. No one respects it.
That's got respect. Hey, I'm just saying. If you win it, I'm saying it's a major trophy. But if you want to say it's not, cool. But if you win
the £1 billion bottle jobs are the best team in the world.
Don't celebrate.
So how can we be expected to win a title against the world champions? We're on the English champions.
I don't know.
World champions. That's like 200 more countries. We can't compete with that.
Well, it's more countries than being champions in your own country, mate.
Yeah, no.
So we're not in America. I know disrespecting Americans when you're world champions for beating other Americans and some Canadians. Do you know what I mean? It's very strange what you guys do, Cam.
Let's keep it a buck. If you took the American NBA players and you made a world league, it would just be embarrassing. So I get it. I understand the semantics around it, but in those sports, they're the world champions. Paul, NFL, come on, it's just facts. I'm sorry.
I don't know.
We ain't trying to do that.
Just national champions will do. Champions of America.
Sure.
Champions of North America. Continental champions. It should be.
I'm sure Tom could tackle Derek Henry. I'm sure of
it.
This year says, will Liverpool have money for Rodrygo after Isak, or will Arsenal have a clear run at him? Well, it was reported by James Pearce, I know that Liverpool fans don't like him because he dared challenge Klopp, but he's very credible. And he said there's no talks and there's basically no real hope of it happening, really. So Arsenal do have, from an English club perspective, I wouldn't say a clear run, but they're the only credible linked team to him. And they've got to go and do it now. They've got to go and get Eze and they've got to go and get Rodrygo, because this Isak deal is going to happen. And Arsenal got to go make it work. We got no gooners on the show tonight, but to speak for their club, but they've got to go and do that, in my opinion. Liverpool looks scary, but all teams are mortal this season. They could have a level above attack, but I don't see their defense as impenetrable. Well, this is the one thing.
Where does come from that our defense isn't good? So we had like the second best defense in the league last season.
Well, but you've changed 50% of it, is what I think people are talking about, and you've got no cover at the moment, centre back wise, but that will probably change. But what we'll throw out there, if Liverpool don't go and win the league now, how bad is that? The other side of the coin.
But it could also just be the fact that maybe one of the other teams just done absolute like madness. Like,
no, Dubes, don't. What are you doing? What are you doing?
I agree with Dubes. It's not our fault. It's not our fault.
Wearing a red shirt. What are you doing? No,
I'm just saying. It could be another Man City Liverpool.
If somebody gets 107 points, they better get 108. I don't care. They've got no excuse.
Are you a Liverpool fan? Are you a Liverpool fan?
They signed Isak, they're about to spend 420 mil in one window, bro. That's not even we've not done that. Yeah, cool. We spent 1.5 billion. We couldn't do it all in one window. We couldn't. No, they have
I'm
to.
just saying there's a possibility. It's not like there could be a case where they just fall off and they're not consistent enough. And I'm saying
they just fall off. Crazy. They just fall off.
That's also why if I was an Arsenal fan or a City fan right now, and potentially Chelsea, because I think you'll be in the race for a period anyway, I'd embrace everybody saying it's over. Because then if you win it, you've got and this is why sometimes you haven't always got to try and cook straight away. Let it marinate. Let them do all the talking. Because if you're an Arsenal fan now, you've already been written off anyway. City fan now, Liverpool winning it. You then go and win it. It makes your achievement even bigger and better. So maybe keep your powder dry and let Liverpool fans say it. Let the media say it, because it makes your achievement even better if you're totally written off. Or maybe I'm misreading that. Like Man United this season, people are predicting us coming 15th again. I'm not overly fighting against it. They might be true. But if we do better than that, that's when I'll do my talking. I get that a lot. People go, Terry, don't defend us enough. I don't always have to defend in the first instance. I'll just let it cook a little bit. I mean, we might actually be shit this year, to be fair. That's why I'm keeping quiet. But you never know.
By the way, David, Chelsea spent £550 million in 22-23, so we're still up about 130.
I'm not siding with David. This is him saying it.
So you start about it in one window.
In one window, Tom. Did we do it in one window?
No, you've done it across the season. You've done it in
you are about to break a single window.
So you know what? Yeah, sure. We'll do semantics.
Because they're all okay. No. They're already the best. They already won the league last year. They're already
but they're not resting on their laurels. That's how it should be. That's how it should be.
They walked it. No, they walked it. They walked it, and now they've added 400 mil plus of quality to their squad, but somehow me saying they must win the league is crazy. They've got no excuse.
No, they must win the league. Yeah, you're right.
If somebody gets 109, they got to get 110.
Yeah, but it doesn't always work like that. That's what the thing is. It doesn't always work like that.
I'm saying with that investment, you better be winning 2, 3, 4 leagues in a row. You've got to be hearing. I've got to be seeing multiple Champions Leagues, doubles, trebles. That's what's got to happen. They were already the best. They're not us we were 12th for
David, we capitalized on
it. You're world champions, though. You're world champions.
No, but you can't do that. It's a trophy. Double A, you don't respect it.
You're the one telling us that you're world champs and it's going to see.
No, we are world champs, but you don't respect
the pressure's on you now.
Don't
the pressure's on you now.
No,
you're the one saying it.
They've outspent me. I'm a world champion. The gap is the gap's gone. They've
outspent you so far. Give it a bit. You'll catch up soon.
They're clear. They can't. No. I'm not. Why are you trying to let them off the hook? I'm not the biggest threat here.
I'm just not letting you off the hook as well, because you're
not the biggest threat here.
Last season it was, we're not in a title race. We're not in a title.
And I was right.
You've got no excuse. You've got no excuse either.
But David, you said.
Well, I still have issues. I still have some issues.
No.
Yeah, we do.
Therapy's not going to help you.
We've got a few more super chats here, boys. This here says to add to David's point from Joshua Jack. There's not a good record of players that have come from the Bundesliga to the Prem and performed well. Everything looks good on paper. but that's just paper, not the pitch. I will add something to that, just food for thought. A lot of the £100 million signings through history have not done well as well. Just throwing that out there. They should, but it's going to be so intriguing to see how this works, because there's a big tweet from a massive Liverpool account here that says Arne Slot won the league after spending £0. Imagine what he's going to do after spending 400 million. Like, we can't not apply pressure to Liverpool when their fans are saying stuff like that. You can't. You've got to do it.
We need to embrace the pressure as well. We are.
Yeah, you do. You do.
We are that team. So I think you need to embrace it.
If Isak is smart, he waits a year and joins Barca. Lewandowski's last season and his contract ends. Ekitike should just forget about playing in the World Cup if Isak joins. See, do you know where I disagree with you on this, on the last bit? If that was the way Ekitike felt, I would rip his contract up and sell him now. If he just sits there and goes, "Oh, I'm not going to the World Cup now because he's joined," that means he ain't got the mentality to be a Liverpool player. Straight away. Yeah. This is one of the other reasons that Man United regressed. Is we had too many players. I'm not going to name them because it will make grown men cry. We had too many players that as soon as there was competition for their positions, they weeped like babies.
Anthony
They
Martial.
weeped like babies. They, oh, my number, oh, my position, oh, my new brand. Fuck off, you mugs. Fight for your positions. And I mean it. By the way, multiple players over multiple years. Oh, no, but I was the star. Fuck off. There should be... I love Mainu. I love Mainu. If we went and signed two brilliant midfielders today, if only double A, if only. I'm not sitting there going, "Oh, I'm worried about little Mainu now." No, Mainu, you fight for your position. If you're good enough, you play. If you're not, bon voyage. That's the way all.
But if he doesn't play, it's the manager's fault, Terry.
Oh yeah. It's the manager's fault. It's the manager's fault. Yeah, why Donny van der Beek weren't playing? It's because he was a bully. No, it's because he weren't fucking good enough. It was he weren't good enough. That's why he's now playing bottom of the table Girona. I mean, Man United aren't good enough anymore, but Girona are not. The team that Donny van der Beek was in was a lot better than this Man United team. There's a reason that no big club bought him. You know what I mean? Ajax didn't even want him back. Come on now. Let's be fair about this. Like, no, I'm sorry, baby bird, but you're wrong. Cam, you're waffling about the Chelsea project. Is funny. There's a clear upwards trajectory. So right now it seems to be working. We have a stacked squad of talent, is what DJ says.
Where did I waffle? I've actually given. I thought Chelsea's a good team. I'm just saying I see a problem happening. It's like with some players, they're gonna have to sell some. They're gonna do it. I'm confused where the waffle came from. This is why I can't stand Chelsea. Like, I just don't like the fans. Like, honestly, I've said it a million times. The fan base drives me nuts. This whole Club World Cup thing just cemented it. Like, look, Tottenham, they actually won a real trophy. They were fun. They were loud for a bit. They had their fun. Cool. Chelsea won this preseason invitational tournament, and I've not heard the end of it since. And it's just like,
if you guys won it, you guys would.
No, I wouldn't. I'm consistent.
No one gave us. Do you know what it is? It goes back to Terry's point. No one gave us a chance against PSG.
I agree. I was wrong. I said you weren't going to win.
The fact that we won 3-0, we could go to Bible and say, "You lot didn't give us a chance. We absolutely battered them in the first half. Absolutely dog-walked them."
So I will say, dude. I did say I would give Chelsea credit for beating PSG, which I do. Just not for winning the tournament, because they beat a bunch of trash teams. So I don't care about that. But beating PSG,
a trophy's a trophy. That's the way I look at it.
You don't even have the trophy though.
Trump has it.
You've got a replica because the president won't give you the actual trophy.
You know what? There is something so funny about the fact that no leader has ever done that. Like when the World Cup was here, there, and everywhere, no one went, "Actually, we're going to keep the real one and give them a replica." That's actually wild that Trump did that. I don't know how Chelsea's defense is bad whilst Liverpool's one is the best when only 2 goals separated both. Of course, 5 of them were Sanchez.
If we can excuse them, we conceded 9 goals in the last 4 games after we'd won the league and didn't give a shit. So if I can take them away, all of a sudden we got the best defense in the league.
There we go. If Isak goes to Liverpool, then Newcastle is Liverpool. Newcastle is Liverpool by Liverpool the same way Chelsea did them with Caicedo and Lavia.
I think this is worse though, because we're taking their player off them.
Yeah, it's worse.
Caicedo and Lavia, they just took players we wanted.
It's the way they went, "Look, we're taking your number 1 target. and we're taking your best player. That is just great. I know why I get Newcastle feeling pain, but I've got a hot take. I think they're going to become a better team this year, Newcastle.
No chance.
Disagree.
No chance. Yeah.
That's a hot take. It's fair.
Hold on, David. You should be agreeing with that because it's Benjamin Sesko. We got
Hot
a big
take.
push on the David Sheringham with strikers shortlist.
No,
so,
but
you know,
Isak's better than him.
No, but they're having Vista as
Isak's
well,
better than him. And they're going to spend half of that money on Sesko anyway.
Yeah.
But my thing with it is that everyone's doing if they sell him for 130, they can reinvest it and then look at what they can do with it. That is true. However, if you get it wrong, you're screwed. I've seen Spurs sell Gareth Bale and buy Eric Lamela. And they thought it was actually
Evan Lamela was decent. He's not the one you should. I
How have you gone to war over Eric Lamela?
Nah,
You've
I'm not
gone
going
to
to war
war
with
for
him. But
it.
Evan Lamela was decent. He was actually all right. There's much worse players you could have.
No, but there's like what's that name?
That's like David using Louis Suarez when we saw Luis Suarez, and I go, no, Dejan Lovren was decent though.
No, you got like
his point stands, but Lamela was the wrong pick.
Like Vlad Crinch.
Yeah, you could have said Kariches, you could have said
exactly.
so many other players. But
you can sign.
I do hear you.
And get 6 different dudes.
I do hear you, and they've got to spend it well. But let's not pretend that Newcastle are run the same way Spurs are run. We have to be right about that. Yes, they haven't been able to land a lot of their main targets. That's because of the size of clubs they're going up against. But one of the reasons why I think they're going to get better is I think everybody's writing them off. And one thing that is typical historically through football is when a good player leaves and everybody goes, they're fucked. When there's still money to be spent, there's often an upturn. I mean, Leicester, I know they eventually got relegated, but they actually had 2 or 3 years after winning the league and lost their players when they were competing for top 4 positions. They went on to win the FA Cup. They didn't have anywhere near the ambition and the money that Newcastle do. I think the players will feel galvanized. There'll be this element of everyone's writing us off. They're going to go and get Wissa. I think they'll end up with Sesko now, who I think is very good. I think Wissa is an excellent striker. They're going to end up buying some really good players with that money. And I think overall their squad will be better. And I think losing Isak this way, the noise that's coming with it, I think it will galvanize them. I think it will bring them closer together as a team. And we might see a slightly more consistent Newcastle this year because they had a really good run December to around March. But either side of that, they had lots of up and down moments. I think there might be a more consistent Newcastle this year because the one thing I will say, I'm going to back Newcastle. I don't think their club lives and dies based on Alexander Isak, no matter how good he is. And if they are built around him and they're screwed without him, then they might as well fuck the whole project off because you're always going to lose players in football. Most clubs lose over the span of 2 decades. All of our clubs will lose 2, 3, 4 of our best players. All of our clubs will. Maybe Real Madrid won't.
Terry, you trying to gain some Newcastle fan base here? Because I'm gonna call you out on this one. Yeah, all clubs lose players, but big clubs don't lose their best players. Like, I'm sorry, like big clubs.
That's not true.
No. Sorry. Big clubs trying to do something typically don't sell their best players.
Again,
I'm not considering
United lost Ronaldo.
Exactly. I was about to say that.
We sold Hazard.
Sorry, but that's I'm okay. Sorry, I should. You're right. Big clubs in this moment don't sell their best players. Like, we lost Ronaldo because we still had all these other great players around him.
It does happen from time to time.
But he was our best player though.
But we had so many other players around him. Who do they don't have great players.
And we went and got Michael Owen and Valencia and Gabriel Obertan. So what are we doing here? Do you know what I mean? We didn't replace him.
That was the case to not sell.
Unless you're Real Madrid, I think every club has a price. Even PSG lost Mbappe to Real Madrid. Obviously, you guys lost Ronaldo to Real Madrid. You can look at it across the board. It happens. But you're right. Typically, the bigger teams.
Hazard, but he won things.
There you go.
But he won things first. They sold him.
Yeah, but he still lost your best player at the time, and you didn't want to sell him. You would have kept him if you had the choice. Do you know what I mean? So it does happen. It does. But yeah, I agree. Right now is not the best time for them.
But you can. Yeah, but you can just kind of go through it. Liverpool with Coutinho is a prime. Is a prime example. Chelsea. Hang on. Chelsea sold Eden Hazard as an example, right? And you can keep going back, Man United and Cristiano Ronaldo. You keep going back. If you keep going back through the list, and you can't just look at the price tag. You've also got to look because some £8 million in the 90s was a lot of Blackburn sold their best player Shearer to Newcastle.
Can we use context, please? Because They
What?
sold Eden Hazard after they had already got the best out of him and won everything, right? Like they weren't trying to break. No, to be fair, they weren't trying to break in and be part of like the top six. They weren't trying to win things like with Eden Hazard at that point. He'd done it.
But that's
Cristiano Ronaldo. We had already won so many things. Like
I get your point. I get your point about building. I get your point about building, but this is also the difference in that. The Chelsea were already rich for a long time then. The first 4 or 5 years of City's money, the first decade of Roman and Chelsea's money, there was no FFP. Had FFP existed in those times, Chelsea would never have got to the level they did as quickly, and nor would Man City, because they wouldn't have been able to go out. And Newcastle fans can screw their faces up. Chelsea would have done it quicker than City because Chelsea were already a Champions League team. But if you look at the fact that Roman, by the time he left, had accumulated over £1 billion of debt against the club, FFP wouldn't have allowed for that. They would never have been able, and they wouldn't have been able to go out and spend 30 million on a Sean Wright-Phillips in the mid-2000s, and then a Scott Parker, and then they couldn't spend like it. They were spending at an unprecedented level. It was within the rules back then. City went from 2009 to around 2014, where there was no checks and balances, and they could spend whatever they wanted. Newcastle don't have that luxury. So the problem is with your example is that the rules have changed. The state of play has changed. They are going to have to, still for the next 4 or 5 years, cash in on players as they go to that next level whilst their organic revenue start to grow. I don't think this is as bad for Newcastle as people are making out. Chelsea and City, to get to where they are now, if FFP existed, also would have had to have sold players because their turnovers were tiny in comparison to Real Madrid, Man United, Barcelona's when they were taken over. We can't ignore that fact.
I hear you, but if you go back, if we say during City's come up, if somebody came in for KDB and they were like, you know what, that's a lot of money. And again, the rules are different. So that is hard to compare the two different eras. But at the same time, if they turned around and were like, oh, here's KDB because we're getting a bunch of money and we can reinvest, we'd look at them and go, you aren't serious. You're not trying to be the team you're trying to be. And they never sold him until the point where he fell off the map. So when I look at the Coutinho one what was your team like when you sold Coutinho?
That same team got to a Champions League final 6 months later.
6 months later, but before.
When Coutinho was there, it was
before.
We finished fourth the season beforehand.
Cool. So, like, at the end of the day, Coutinho for you was a catalyst to get better players in to go up. At the end of the day, Newcastle hasn't done anything, in my opinion. They haven't won Champions Leagues. They haven't won.
They just won a trophy.
They want to trophy.
Oh my God, I'm not doing this.
Cam, we got to see what they spend the money on.
They've won a trophy after 60
Coutinho also played 33 games in the season where Steven Gerrard slipped and cost them the league title. So he was part of a league title challenging team and a side that just after he left got to a Champions League final. That Liverpool team was very good. It had a downturn period when Rodgers fell off the boil. That was a very good team. Sometimes in life, and by the way, FFP was in place by then, so checks and balances were around. They had to sell people. Now, I get what you mean by best players, right? But even City still sell a lot of players and good players like Julian Alvarez for big money, which then enables them to invest more. The reason why Chelsea and City can keep spending, and Liverpool, is because they sell well. And I get Newcastle's point. And maybe if they sold, this is the problem, if they sold 4 or 5 players that weren't as good, they could raise a bit more money and give them a deal.
They have Holland in tow already, and they can go out and go.
That isn't again.
Newcastle attracting. This is the thing. We just sat there and talked about Newcastle not being able to attract players, and now you're going to tell me go sell Isak, and you're going to be able to build this team.
One of the reasons they're struggling to attract is they can't offer the wages players at that level demand. One way of doing that is by pumping 150 million pounds of additional money into the club because it's revenue, and then they can offer better wages to people. It's all part of it. It's why it's a 10-year project. But look, let's crack on with these super chats. We've got a long way to go on the show still. I'm a Man United fan. We were more of a team, but I don't see us getting above 10th. I think that says enough. 4 teams in the running for the Premier League. Arsenal, not one of them, is what. Who's the other one? I'd love to know who you think it is. This here says, I'll celebrate the Community Shield like Chelsea did the Club World Cup. After Isak, wait till we get Rodrygo and England's best centre-back. I smell 14-0 versus United. Okay. Pre-season trophy. Cam, you allow Spurs to beat you in a final. You bums. You'd get packed 8-0 by PSG. Focus on making top half, you scrubs. No one cares about you.
All in caps as well.
I love it. Chelsea fans are my favorite. Fuck all of you.
Whoa.
Losers.
GK here says, Terry, I've accepted that this year is not going to be good in terms of winning the league for City because of their defense. Also, I consider who?
Show her, Tony.
The best athlete, a better athlete than SGA because he pitches and hits the baseball everywhere, I think you mean. Fair enough. Entitled to your opinion. I don't know either of those two, so I can't. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate it, mate. Arsenal won't win the league. It's between Liverpool, Chelsea, and City. Liverpool is lucky that Man City isn't at the best. United will end up 10th. I take 10th right now if we're being serious.
I like how the last part of that super chat was just entirely unneeded as well. The first, how much of it was about a title race, and he just had to throw a little jab about United as well.
I get it. On Arsenal, a report today that Eze has told friends and family that he'll become an Arsenal player this summer. Gyökeres is through the door. How good a signing, Chatty Patty, would Eze to Arsenal be?
Oh man, I think that one will break me, to be fair, because we've been linked with Eze for ages and I love him. I think he's such a good player. Obviously, he helped Crystal Palace win their first ever trophy. The guy's a fantastic talent, man. Really good player. So if he goes Arsenal, yeah, that will hurt. I still don't see Arsenal winning the league, even with Eze. I just think that your Liverpool and City are much better and better balanced and have better managers and have been there and done that. And I just don't see Arsenal in that conversation. But he's a great player. It will hurt me to see him go there. And I just hope he doesn't. I hope he doesn't go there, man. So, yeah.
Double A, do you think this is enough from Arsenal? Eze in, Gyökeres obviously over the line, Madueke, Zubamendi, Norgard, the new centre-back and Kepa. The previous super chat sort of alluded to the fact that they won't compete. Do you think these are the signings that are good enough to keep Arsenal competing?
Do we see him getting ahead of City and Liverpool? No. I think, for me, he was talking before, like Arsenal fans, what they're saying and what they need. They need to win. For me, Arteta needs to win one of the big two to stay in a job. I don't think they can afford to win a FA Cup and League Cup and for him to slide by, because how many times can you finish second before you start to really question if the manager's good enough to do the job? And they need to win the league. I don't think they will. I think Gyökeres, I think Gyökeres is a good signing, but I think as soon as he goes 2 or 3 games without scoring, that's all you're going to hear about. I think he won't even get to 007. I think they'll be constantly on his back about because it's the Portuguese league, very similar to the Bundesliga. Players that come over from Portugal get absolutely hounded all the time in not being good enough. They can't do it in the Premier League. So I think the good signing, Eze,
that's our fault, though. So if
you
apologise, Gyökeres, for all the standards you've got now. Someone we signed is the reason for that.
Yeah. If anything, we're the exception to the rule because ours seem to do pretty well most of the time.
I've gone 2 years back to back saying I thought Arsenal was going to win the league, so I can't do it again. Fool me once, fool me twice. But I do think if they get Rodrygo, if they actually do that, I think it's going to be a fight. I'm going to keep it a buck. I'm not one I don't like Arsenal, but I think they've had a great summer. Like at the end of the day, they've had a really, really good summer. And I think if they get Rodrygo, that changes a lot. If you get Eze and Rodrygo, all of a sudden you have a player to step in when everybody's hating on Odegaard and saying he needs to be dropped, because I see that a lot from Arsenal fans. Eze slots right in. He might even take a spot. Rodrygo, does he not become the best left winger in the league potentially? If we go based on what we know from what he's done and his accolades, I think he slots in and becomes the league's best left winger. So now you've had the league's best left winger. You have top 3 right winger in Saka, top 2 probably between him and Salah. What's stopping Arsenal from being right there and thereabouts?
Do you think they get both though, Cam?
Their defense is the best in the league.
Do you think they get Eze and Rodrygo in the same?
This is what I'm saying. I think they need to do that because when you look at Liverpool and what they've done, now you need to do that, right? You need to go. I think Terry said you have to respond saying, okay, shit, like
Yeah.
they load it. If you get a nuke, Patty, I gotta go. What do I gotta do? I gotta be like, cool. I got nukes and anti-missiles too. Otherwise, I'm done. So I think that's what they need to do. And if they pull that off, we're gonna have a really fun league with those two. I don't
think Arsenal get a free run at Rodrygo either. They're saying it before, but I think Liverpool might still be in there, you know, because I think with the players that they're likely to leave, Nunes, Diaz, if they go, I think Liverpool going to jump in there.
I mean, we need to ask Dave if that's all right first. You know, we're breaking all sorts of rules by spending this much money and
getting good players in.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think us getting Isak probably rules us out of the Rodrygo race. I think we'd still buy a couple more players afterwards, but I think we still need that centre back. We still need a centre back, which I think is going to cost a little bit of money. And then I think at that point would probably, if we're going to give Ekatike the game time that he wants, I think the other option is to buy like a Malik Fofana from
Tom.
Have some ambition, Tom. Have some ambition, mate. Come on.
Oh no, I'd love to add Rodrygo to it.
Tom,
you know, maybe I'm not ambitious enough.
Did you sell him? That backup keeper, your backup keeper is really good. Did you sell him?
Yeah, he went Brentford.
So for me, that's a big thing. If Allison gets hurt, which for a keeper,
we've got Man Utd really, haven't we, from Valencia?
But if he gets hurt, I think that's a big deal. Because like we've seen, when I've seen your team drop, that's been one of the biggest things when Allison's out. It's been because, and when you have a bad keeper, not that dude from last year, because he's great.
I just think Arsenal, if they get Eze and Rodrygo, all of a sudden they've got multiple ways to hurt a team. If Odegaard's not working, which he wasn't for large parts of last season, but Arteta was too stubborn to give Van Eerde the spot, I think he'd be a little bit more willing to give Eze the spot if he brought him in. So then bad runs of form aren't necessarily just being told to play through, which I think is what hurt Arsenal a fair amount last year. They get Rodrygo and Eze. That attack is very good. It's a very strong attack, which can hurt teams in multiple ways. I think whichever team gets Rodrygo, if he decides to, leave Madrid finally, are getting a really, really top player. I think he's been really underappreciated because he's done the graveyard shift on the right of a Madrid front line, which doesn't pass the ball at the best of times anyway. You put him on the left in his actual position in a team, I think you'll see him explode in terms of numbers.
He's also a winner.
Do you think it's going to be really frustrating for Arsenal fans, or they're buying all these fantastic attacking players, or from just to keep scoring from corners all the time? Though I think they're going to be really.
I mean, my favourite idea is the fact they bought Madueke to be a run down the line cross winger to the only striker in Europe who doesn't score headers.
I think in order for as a fantastic signing, but in order for Arsenal to do well and to make that the person they signed up front try and score some goals in the actual league, they're going to have to change the way that they play football. So in order for them to do that, it's gonna require Arteta to be malleable, and he's not shown that quality very often. So it'll be interesting to see what he does. Because I think, again, if I'm wrong and everybody else is right, and Gyökeres is the second coming of Erling Haaland, then they have all the tools to win.
David, who do you think? Can I ask you something? Who do you think's a better striker, Gyökeres or Nicholas Jackson?
Oh, Gyökeres.
So, but Jackson scored goals in this league, no?
Yeah, but I've predicted Gyökeres to score more goals than Jackson's ever scored in the Prem. So,
but I'm saying, like, you're saying Gyökeres isn't going to score. Okay.
Oh, Nicholas Jackson's a better football player than Gyökeres is. He's better at football, but as a striker,
hold on.
As a striker,
what did you just say?
No, it's not.
I'll let you fight this battle on your own, David. Then
no. Again, Nicholas Jackson's footballing ability is higher than Gyökeres's. That's not crazy. Nicholas Jackson, one of the only benefits of Nicholas Jackson is his ability to drop into midfield and play football. That's one of his only benefits. He's as a striker, he's not good. As a striker, no. I've seen the light. I've got people up front that can kick a ball with their feet strong. And that's what Gyökeres can do. So as a striker, Gyökeres is better, but I think Jackson's a better footballer than him. That's not crazy. How is that?
So Jackson's better with first touch, passing, football IQ, link up play. That's what you're trying to tell me. He's a better footballer.
Yeah, he's far better at link up than Gyökeres. 100%.
You're
100%. That's not controversial. That isn't controversial at all.
Jackson's first touch is atrocious. His passing is
It's
not
not.
good.
It isn't.
His composure is a joke.
Exactly. What
His
are we
movement's
talking
kind of
about?
confusing.
Yeah,
The looks on everyone else's faces is telling you that is a wild thing.
Wait, is Gyökeres a better
This is
footballer than
mental.
Erling Haaland?
KJ, please clip this.
Is
KJ,
Gyökeres
please
better
clip
footballer
this.
than Haaland?
KJ, please clip this. This is mental.
No, is
I can't
Gyökeres a
believe
better
it.
footballer than Erling Haaland?
No, I don't think
Probably
so.
is that the comparison?
And I would
why are we
argue that
comparing him to
Jackson's
Haaland?
Now let it land. Go on. So where you going with this? Go on.
I would
Say that
argue
again?
that Jackson is a better footballer than Haaland in terms of
What?
his ability to
Are
hold
you-
on again.
Oh my
As a striker, Haaland's better, of course.
What are we
But
doing?
everyone's been roasting Haaland about his ability to play football.
Haaland
That's
is a
been
top
his
footballer.
biggest
What are you
roasting.
on about? How are you
Oh
crazy?
my
For
God.
him to
I'm
score
not
that many
going
goals in all
This is
sorts
where I
of
get.
scenarios.
This is where I struggle because you're just talking about dribbling at this stage. You must be. That's
No,
it.
my point is-
That's got to be the only thing you're talking about.
No, I'm not.
I'm
Again,
so
I'm not
confused.
talking about as a striker. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about as a footballer. So I'm talking about all the aesthetics, the touch, this, that, and the other. I test. Oh, actually, no, that's wrong. I'm bugging.
Wait, what are you on?
I test Jackson.
Yeah, what are
But no,
you?
that's wrong.
What's
That's
wrong,
wrong.
man?
You're-
Like,
I'm
your
telling you.
whole-
No.
Keep
I'm
going,
telling
David.
you.
Keep going.
I'll keep going. I'll keep going.
Oh, you ain't getting out of this hole, bro.
Yeah, I don't know what you're on, but
Jackson's footballing ability is better.
Then
100%.
Haaland,
Do you know what you're doing?
Just can't-
Do you know what you're doing, David? Right? Because Staffy's backing you in the comment section, so this says it all.
of course he is because he can dribble.
Yeah, this is what it is that Haaland is a footballer and he is better at his job as a footballer than Jackson is at his job as a footballer. He just is.
Yeah,
This idea
I
of
agree.
he's better at football than him. Maybe if you put them in a cage and go do keepy ups and drag backs and flip flaps and jack flaps and whatever the fucking skills are called, right? Yeah, he probably does a better job, but that's never how football players ever. And I know this for a fact. There are kids that are brilliant in the cage. You put them in a cage, oh, ballers. Put them in a real football match, bang average. Anyone who grew up in a footballing environment, you had mates that would be in a playground looking mad, playing headers and volleys, playing knockouts, or Wembley as people call it. Oh, my mate Jermaine, the man. My mate Tommy, oh, look at you, watch him in headers and volleys. He wins it every time. You watch him do this, you watch him do that. Put him in an actual structured match. You go, oh, fucking hell, he ain't very good, is he? Like, there is a fundamental difference. There's a fundamental difference. Sorry, let me finish. There's a fundamental difference between looking good at passing a ball and taking a man on and being a good football player. I do think there is a fundamental difference. And it's crazy to me that we still talk about football in this way.
I agree that Haaland is better at football than Jackson. I 100% agree. However, when it comes to link-up play and actually playing football, one of Jackson's biggest strengths is his actual ability to come and play football when he drops deep.
When you say play football, what do you mean?
No, but again, I'm not even sure how I can quantify this. I'd have to go back, go and look at it because I'm sure there are numbers that I can back this up.
Okay, but they both play the same position. This is you got to weigh it up. This is how you know whether you're right or wrong.
Okay.
You've got a number 9 slot open at Chelsea, okay, and you've got 2 options to fill it. It's the Champions League final. You've got 2 options to play number 9. You can either start Jackson or you start Gyökeres. Who are you picking?
Well, I've already said that Gyökeres is a better striker than Jackson.
So
I literally said that.
That's all that matters. That's all.
That is the first thing I said.
Are you going to play Jackson in the midfield then? Or is what you're saying he should be a midfielder? Is that
No.
what you're trying to say? Well, I'm confused.
My point,
The
only point I was trying to make was
better
that
David, the longer you spend, David, at university, the thicker you get. What's wrong with you?
So confused.
Yeah,
What
I've
are
said
you
it. I don't
saying?
trust the education.
my only point was that was it? Dubes asked me who would score more goals, Gyökeres or Jackson. I said
No, I
Gyökeres.
didn't.
Yeah, you did.
I said who's a better player? I said who's a better striker?
Yeah,
Who's a better striker? I said Gyökeres is a better striker. I just said Jackson's a better footballer than him. Like in terms of
It doesn't make
He's
sense.
a
That doesn't make sense.
You know what?
That doesn't make
Yeah,
sense.
but I'd rather be better in the position that I play.
It's like saying, right? Well, I watched the footage back. Daniel Dubois is better on the pads, better with the foot movement, better hitting a bag, better at skipping. He's a better boxer than Alexander Usyk, but he can't beat him in a fight. No, it matters in the fight.
I'll give you an example what David will next. He plays football.
Usyk's better than him on the pads.
David, you play football, NFL football. I'll give you an example. This is what you're saying is like saying, you know what, this guy's a better running back because in practice, you know, he breaks tackles, he makes it through whatever. But when I put him in a game and we put him on the goal line, he gets stuffed every single time. He fumbles the ball. How is he a better player? It's like, oh, the guy on the corner we could pull in who absolutely can't break up a pass or do anything, but you know what? He's got silky hands when he does catch it. It's like
you don't even need to change sport. You don't even need to change sport.
I'm just giving it to him.
But all you mean, David, is what you're saying is that Jackson has certain attributes where he is stronger than Haaland or Gyökeres. That's what you mean. That's simply what you mean.
That's
it doesn't the overall. Yeah, well, yeah, but you just said it in a really bad way.
Yeah, no, I know. As I was, because I knew what the path I was trying to go down. Yeah. He's looking at their numbers right now.
Yeah.
All said like Haaland is a better footballer than Gyökeres. Everyone agreed with that, right? I'm looking at Haaland and Jackson right now, and Jackson's got better pass completion, better progressive carries. He's more successful with his carries. He's got better take-ons. Like he's like when he. My point is that he has.
That's not Haaland's game though.
What's it mean?
No, but this, you're literally proving my point for me. My point is that when Jackson can do things that Haaland can't.
But if you
don't need Haaland to do those things. Also,
exactly. Sorry, you're bang on double A. What it comes down to is this: they play the same position. If you would pick Haaland over Jackson, it means you think he's better at his role on a football pitch because it's a team game. It isn't one. You're probably right. If you put Jackson in a cage 1-on-1 versus Haaland, Jackson probably wins because he can probably take him on easier and stuff like that. But that isn't football. Cage football, 1-on-1. That isn't football that they play. That's not professionals. They're freestyle footballers. Like Jeremy. Is it Jeremy Lynch? Is that his name? Jeremy Lynch can probably do more skills and more techie things than 80% of Premier League football players. But he's not a better football player than Titus fucking Bramble because he couldn't make it in the Prem. At the end of the day, Titus Bramble was pretty average, to be fair. But come on, we can't be doing this, man. Freestyle footballers are not better than professional football players at the game.
What's happened to my sport, man? I was just saying progressive carries is a better metric for a striker.
Yeah,
what is going on?
But it was to prove a point, and the numbers back
the
up.
fact is, David,
I can actually quantify what I'm saying.
But Jackson can't do things that Haaland can do that he should, like he needs.
That's
to
why
do.
I said I picked. That's why I said that he's a better striker. I said he's a better striker.
We've got some super chats here. This one here says, David, Onana is a better footballer, but not a goalkeeper. Yeah, that your logic means Onana's good with his feet. That means he's a better football player than I don't fucking know.
Onana's better at football than like
he's not even good with his feet. So.
No, he ain't anymore. To be fair. 22-23 season attacking, 23-24 defensive. But attacking in the second half of the season, and in the 24-25 season, absolute shit. Stoke football, spam crosses and long throws made us fans hate watching. He's obviously talking about Arsenal when he says that.
I like how we don't need to figure out which club that is.
We just knew.
Carlton here says, better footballer, well, not at the position he plays, but if they both magically played a different position and we were all blind and it was a Tuesday. Yeah, Stevie Wonder agrees with David, to be fair. Just as a Gyökeres conversions was going on my Twitter feed, showed me Gyökeres is running past the entire Belgium defense through the length of the pitch, beating them and scoring for Sweden. Yeah, a good goal. Finally, we are in the PSR conversation. You'll never walk alone. That's funny. Liverpool have reached an era of dominance as a super team. This is the best and worst era you can ever be in, because after this is the plateau or downfall. Leeds United, Barca, Madrid are good examples.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had better leaders.
Cycles,
yeah, it's true.
When have Barca and Madrid ever have a downfall? It's always them too.
But Barca's downfall was because they spent all this money that they couldn't afford.
Well,
and they still want to put just 21.
I wouldn't say Barca are in a downfall, but if you actually look at them, if you actually go back and look, up until, although they won in the early 90s, I think, the Champions League, but over like a 60, 70-year period, they only won like one Champions League. Like they did have periods where they weren't like they have been recently. And I think as well, even with like Real Madrid, Champions League-wise, they went like 30-odd plus years without winning it, I think. They've had period, but never league-wise. It's just been
Still winning
fairly
the league.
consistent. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but equally, they're a little different to the English sides because they have all the financial monopoly, all the money. If all the money in England just went to Liverpool and Man United, because they're the biggest two teams fan base-wise, then there wouldn't be eras. There wouldn't be eras. It's the money that so many teams are rich in England now.
The context is the league needs those teams to be good too, right? Like no one cares about the league. If Real Madrid fell off, it would then all of a sudden the league's screwed, right? So
Real Madrid went out of business. La Liga dies as a league. That's true.
Right.
Any one of our big clubs could go and it would still continue, I think.
Yeah.
I don't want Rodrygo. We should pay Diaz what he deserves. He's perfect for us, is what this Liverpool fan here says.
Buy Diaz. Go buy him. Give me my money for Isak. I'm not paying you.
Isak might be a great footballer, but boy, is super dumb. Why would you hand a transfer request after everyone has signed a striker? Newcastle is so fucked.
I mean, it hasn't cost them though, because the club that he wants to join will still buy him anyway. It's not like us signing Ekatike and we're not going to buy him.
And he doesn't need to be loyal to Newcastle. Newcastle, if they found a better option than him, would sell him or get rid of him or move him on. So players don't have to be loyal. So you didn't watch the first half versus Milan, okay? That must be a
preseason game.
Arsenal.
This is something that annoys me. By the way,
Arsenal, didn't I?
Why would anyone on this panel who is not an Arsenal fan sit there at some point in the day and go, you know what I want to watch? An Arsenal preseason match.
I watched it.
I don't even watch United ones, so I ain't gonna watch Arsenal.
I watch most of our clubs. I'm watching Liverpool on Saturday, but it's my job, I suppose. My job is to literally react.
It's a bit different. It's a bit different for you.
It is. I do. Honestly, I'm at a point where, like, I've been watching the women's Euros, and what I love about it is I don't have to go live afterwards. I'm like, I get to watch a football match and just watch it for football. It's so nice, honestly, without having to take notes and what am I going to talk about. It's I love my job though. This here says that Rodrygo never hit 16 GA in his pro career, but is world class. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, the context is he plays for Real Madrid, and the talent there is crazy, and
he's out of position.
Exactly. So you got.
Some people don't watch players play, man.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
We've watched him play football.
Also, Rodrygo has got more than 16 GA in every single season at Real Madrid, bar his first two. When he was a bit part player.
No, it's not even true, your super chat. But this is the thing about playing out of position, which shows how good he is. We did a combined 11, me and Dan Potts, on this podcast we filmed about a month or so ago. And I think we were talking about who the right back's going to be. And I knew that he thought I was going to say Gary Neville and he's going to throw in his reasons as to why, but I didn't. I said Dennis Irwin. And he looks at me like I was a Martian, like most people do. And it's like, no, Dennis Irwin was a right back, but spent 10 years of his career playing left back and did it to a world-class level. That shows me how good Dennis Irwin should always be in the conversation for best fullback in Premier League history. And I always make this argument. Ashley Cole is, in most people's eyes, the best. But Ashley Cole, could he have done 10 years playing right back at that level? Could Trent have done what he did at Liverpool if he was playing on the left-hand side? Gary Neville, I loved him. Yeah, but that's the thing. And that's why Rodrygo stands out to me. He's played on his unfavored side, and he's been excellent. Put him on. I'm really excited to see him in his natural position. I really am. Chelsea spent 434 million in one window, signing 12 players. And if Arsenal signed all their targets this summer, they would have spent 350 million in a window too. Yeah, massive. Chelsea fans talking about money equals expectations is laughable. Who cares if one window they haven't spent much compared to the last couple? Liverpool have been muddied since the early 90s. They are getting their flowers now. Chelsea is still building. Liverpool have built already. There is now a team, Chelsea building a spine, and Chelsea ceiling is higher. So let's invest in time. Chelsea ceiling's higher than Liverpool's. I like that. I like the talk. Won't act like it's certain we signed Isak, either with or without him. I'll be happy if we get either the Prem or Champions League. I count on Chelsea and City to give us a good fight. Arsenal will struggle. I think it's about as certain as it can be. Oh, Staffy's here for Super Chat. Staffy says, being a better footballer doesn't mean step overs. Stick to hockey, you maple syrup merchant. Jackson has more to his game. His finishing is just so bad.
Listen, you Fugazi Knicks fan, you front-running fraud. Yeah? Listen to me when I say this. Just because you discredit goals in the most important position in the team, just because you, for some reason, think goals don't matter, does not make your opinion immaculately more better than mine. You're out here being like, Cam doesn't know football because he doesn't fucking like guys who dribble and shit. Like, listen, I like guys who do what they're supposed to do on the pitch. That's what it is, okay? Also, Black Canadians don't watch hockey. You know that, okay? And third, maple syrup is awesome. What do you got? Ketchup? What are you about? Get out of here.
Let me just step in for a minute here. The Football Terrace does not endorse the message about certain types of Canadians not watching hockey. That's purely Cam's comment. I need to put that in for legal reasons. The Football Terrace does not endorse that message.
Go cry over the Knicks failing again for a season.
That's why Staffy's been having a cycle, like a menstrual cycle all summer. Ever since United lost that final and the Knicks got dumped, he's having like, I saw you tweet this the other day as well, Double A, but he's been having his villain arc as well. You know what I mean?
Big time. He's walking around with a grey cloud over him all summer.
He's so grumpy.
I mean, my favorite part of that super chat was, he's not good at his job, but he's good at all the other stuff that isn't relevant. It's like imagine you need to work on your house and you hired an electrician and he was shit at electrician.
I've got the best example. This is what David and Staffy are saying, right? And I'm from a sales background, right? So David and me are both salesmen. David's presentation skills are amazing. He's like charts and he's pamphlets and his PowerPoints are the best in the business. The graphics are amazing. He wears the best suits. He turns up in a better car, but he can't close the deal. Where I'm a bit scruffier, a little less organized, but I can sell the goods. At the end of the day, I'm still the better salesman just because he ticks all the other boxes.
That's why I said Gyökeres and Haaland are better strikers.
But
the technical ability of Jackson is higher, and it's not controversial.
Okay, even if we agree with you, it's a completely moot and irrelevant point because it doesn't matter.
But I had to mention it.
It's like, this boxer's got more knockout power than this guy. Yeah, but he never wins. Do you know what I mean? It's a moot point.
And the one thing, sorry, I just got to do the preface thing that you always have to do, Terry. Just so people know, Staffy and I are actually friends. Like, so just before the chat's all like, oh my God, these two, like, we're
strangest thing about Staffy this summer is he has turned from being I'm not American, I'm Egyptian to I'm American. He keeps saying like they don't like us when we talk about football. He's become full on American this summer, which is fine. Be whatever nationality you want. I don't care.
And I've seen him proper go with Brits. He's got like a bad agenda against Brits now. Like,
he's done one of these things where he's picked a British sport and picked a British team.
I hate everyone who lives there.
I hate everything that's British. It's like, I always say this, anyone who chooses to watch the NFL, follow an American sport, I don't see how you can simultaneously say, I hate everything about that country. Well, pick a sport in a different country then. But yeah, Staffy, I do feel for Staffy because I actually think a girl's left him. I think he must have got dumped because he's acting like a man who's pining for some loving, and do you know what I mean? He is, but we'll give you another certificate tomorrow. We did a few certificates for him the other day. He got the inaugural award for the I Told You So award on the Football Terrace. But Staffy, we love you, bro. We love you. We do love you. This here says, listen, I want to ask quickly before the end of the show. Ollie Watkins, the Man United. What are you saying, Double A?
Gonna have to be in it, I think.
You couldn't sound any less excited.
Is he that bad?
Yeah.
Is he that bad?
No, that's the thing. No, that's the thing. No, he's not. He's a fucking hell. No, he's a good player, isn't he?
Even you don't believe that. Even you don't believe that with the way you're saying this.
No. That's where we are, isn't it?
Tell us how you really feel, bro. Tell us how you really feel.
I hate that that's where we are, man. Like this is what we get to look forward to, innit? Like, oh mate,
But he's a good
what
player.
What are the pair of Nike Air Max? Start of summer. What are the pair of Nike Air Max for Christmas? You end up with a pair of high tech. Like, I mean, yeah, okay. Like,
I thought Watkins is a good player.
Mate, but
no, don't do Ollie Watkins like that. No,
I don't know if it's that bad.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but like. You know, we're linked to Gyökeres. We're in for Gyökeres, and then it's Sesko, and then it's you know, even Osherman got a link, and then it's Ollie Watkins.
No,
There's
but
a world.
hold on. I hear what you're saying. No, I
hear
hear what you're saying. I think it comes down to if we really believed we were gonna get. Like, listen, I got a little excited for Gyökeres too, but I think when you take a step back, I think this is where I'm separate from a lot of like other diehard British fans on this. Is like, I can go into the season knowing we're going to be very average, and it doesn't bother me because I just know in my heart of hearts, I can't look at the team that we're building and all the holes we have and go, you know what? We need to find a way to get into the top 4 right away. Like, it's just not going to happen, right? So we got to build slowly. So with Watkins, I'm in the camp of if we get Watkins, it has to be for like 30, 40 M's. It can't be for the 60, 80 because he's going to be gone by the time we're good enough to be in the UCL again, right? He's going to be gone by the time we're good enough to challenge, in my opinion, because of his age.
If we're good enough.
If we're good enough. But I still think we have like, I've said it before, and I'm not going to go back on it. I think in 3-4 years, we'll be back in the conversation. But I think Watkins is too old for that.
My issue with him is that it's taken all summer to get to him. And therefore, it means he's not, you know, because we were told by this new regime coming in, they have ideas of players. You know, Barada at the start of the summer, we've got a plan. We know exactly what we're going to do. We've seen none of this plan come to fruition. You know, it was the lap at first. We're scrambling, and that's my issue again. That we're scrambling again for players. We don't know what we're doing. Yes,
are we
scrambling?
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah. Because you look. All right, okay. You take. We've signed 2 players. We needed 7. Like so now it's a case of we're going to be at the end of the window. At the end of the window when the season started. We've lost 2 or 3 games, and now we're throwing money at the problem once again. And this is my issue because we've not planned properly. You look at the way Liverpool have done it; they absolutely smashed the start of the window. Arsenal have had a great, Chelsea have had a great window. It's what we needed to do because you're talking about the gap getting bigger. We're getting further and further away from them 5-6 clubs. Tottenham are in there as well. We're getting further and further away. We're meant to be closing the gap now. Watkins is a very, very, very good Premier League striker, but for 29, and I think it's going to be closer to 50, 60 that they'll want for him. He's then going to probably want 200k a week. For that, for me, for 2-3 years, it's not good enough. And it's a bringing in as Zlatan. It's a bringing in a kind of Cavani, even Ronaldo. Yeah. And I was having this in the group chat, was having this whole conversation about stopgaps and what I think a stopgap is. He is a stopgap striker for me. Yep. When we need to be bringing someone in that can be playing for us for 6-7 years at the top level, and he's not that. And I'll accept it because we need it. But again, my problem is always with the board and how we're getting screwed out of everything.
I get where you're coming from. I think that it's interesting because I was talking to Ben Jacobs today, who he's said to me all summer, like this idea of like 7 signings, he said was just always unrealistic. It was more around the 5 mark, which I still think is doable. I feel a bit more like Cap. I don't necessarily think we're panicking at this point. And I think that the lack of urgency is also a sign that we're potentially not panicking. With Watkins, though, I don't mind it. Again, not my dream, not my top of my Christmas list. I agree with you on the analogy you gave. But if it is Watkins, that means going into next season, we've taken 3 of the top 8 goal scorers from last season, and they're now in the Man United team. And I did a bit of a thought exercise there and went back and looked at loads of games, every game of last season that we narrowly drew or that we narrowly lost. So any of the games that we got pumped, I just kept them as the same result. Or games where we won quite comfortably. So many games last year. And you go to the back end of the season, so it's more memorable. West Ham at home, Wolves at home, Spurs away, City at home, Arsenal at home. Just in those games off the top of my memory, if you had Watkins and Mbeumo and Cunha in the team, rivals will hate this and try and shit on it. But there's a very good chance we'd have won those matches with people that could actually put the ball into the back of the net. And for me, and this is, I suppose, where we all view things differently. I knew we were never going to fix all the problems in our squad this summer. And I knew that we'd have holes still. For me, one of the best ways of for a couple of years, there is an element of papering over cracks. Bringing in goals does that because we would just win more games. And I think last season proved one thing to me, AA. All that bollocks that we all spoke in different ways, shapes, or forms for 5, 6, 7 years. Give me a style of play and I'll be happy. We had a style of play, but we want fucking victories as football fans. That's all in reality. Unless you hate the manager unless someone despises the manager, all we really want is victory, so we can say that we won. That helps us.
So
we need a more athletic. We need a more athletic midfielder as well. I stand on that 100%. But for me, the price point is key for me on everyone we're buying this summer. The price point is more important than sort of the time in which we get it done. 60 million, I do think is too much. But if we could work a deal out later in the window, maybe in a couple of weeks, if you could get that 45, 50, I'd take that for 2 or 3 years, because you just know, like for me with Ollie Watkins, there's only 2 strikers in the last 3 seasons that have scored more goals in the Prem than him, and that's Salah and Haaland. And he doesn't look like he's going to slow down. That doesn't mean I think he's world class. Doesn't mean I think, we're going to fucking name a stand after him in a few years. But we need goals so badly in this team.
And if that's the case, Terry, then he should have been bought in June. He should have been bought in the start of July. Why are we waiting now? That's my big issue with everything.
I get that point. The only thing I would say is some people also say, a lot of people in the United standards saying we lack ambition. The issue is, if we would have just gone straight for Watkins and not tried to get the Gyökereses or the better players, people would then moan, why did we go for the quick and easy option and not try and get better? I think that's the only balance I've got in it, is we tried to get better players. It hasn't worked out for us. And now we're going for the players slightly lower on the pecking order.
So one thing, sorry, Terry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I really think this one thing I think is really, because it dovetails in what you're saying, the players lower on the pecking order. Because you seem like not a hyperbolic fan, which I like. Double A, you seem like you're calm and not like, that's our ownership, all that shit that drives me nuts with our fans. I've had this argument with a lot of United fans with this whole lack of planning, is what people are saying. I actually sat back and thought our planning was pretty obvious, right? Like we wanted Delap and we wanted Cunha done early, because those are 2 easy deals we could have got done with just release clauses, and we could have done quick negotiations. We missed out on Delap. We got rejected. He chose Chelsea. Plan B was Mbeumo, right? That was plan B. It was very clear, like, okay, plan B was go get Mbeumo, another top goal scorer in the league. We took longer on that deal, but if it was you, like I had a lot of arguments with some friends and the good friends of mine, they're saying, well, I'd rather move off it quickly and go get a different player. But on the players at offering for us that were available, he was the best we could have got. So why not take your time on that? Now we're into the next phase of our planning, which is get a striker. And I think it's pretty obvious. I said this at the start of the window. We're going to have to get who's left over. That's where we're at. And who's left over, as we're seeing Gyökeres is gone. Delap's gone. Ekitike's gone. So now we're looking at that next tier of players. And Watkins is, when you look at the list of Watkins, Jackson, Sesko, he's risen to the top. I would prefer Sesko just because the youth and he could build with us. But I think it's a pretty clear plan now that Watkins has fallen to that next tier, and we're going to work it to get the best deal we can. That's where when I hear people say, I need to see a plan, I need to understand what's going on, I actually see it. I just think people are upset that it's not happening super fast, but we don't have the funds to do it really fast. So why, like, at the end of the day, as long as we get these players in before the season starts, for me, I hate the fact that the window closes after the season starts. I always had. If we can get these players in before the season starts, I have to say, like, I think the plans were clear and we executed them.
Maybe, but the club are even briefing that he might start the season with no striker. So then again, you start worrying about that.
Double A, I get your concerns, mate, and I think that's why it's important. I think too much in the Man United discourse, and rivals probably see this a lot because their teams are doing so much better than us. It can become quite toxic, and I don't think anything you've said is crazy or out there. And I saw that report this morning and got a bit nervy. Then I read 2 other reports and spoke to Ben Jacobs today on the United stand, and they're like, it's not quite what we've been told by people close to United. We've seen the Athletic one week say, United have got no plans to get rid of Rasmus, and then you've got Ornstein saying it's very likely that he leaves. And I think we are jaded and we're tired and we're angry where our club is, and I totally get this sort of attraction to negativity that we have because it always feels so bad. I get it. And look, I'm going to judge them in the same way as you are. Watkins, for me, though, at the right price, I take that. My bigger concern right now than the striker is what we do in the midfield. I think we've got to add some more legs. I think that's so important for us, and we'll see what we'll do. This here from Jack, who says, what's crazy? The last 3 years, Watkins is 4th most goals scored, 3rd without penalties, and the 3rd most assists.
I didn't know the assists.
Yeah, but is he a good footballer, though?
Yeah. What's his pass completion? What's his pass completion like?
He's a better technical footballer than the other two, 100%.
And this is the thing, like, because I don't personally rank him as my top 5 strikers I have at Manchester United. People think then I don't think he's a good footballer, which is not the case. I think he's fantastic, and his story from going to Exeter to Brentford to Villa and being a top class Premier League striker is great. And I think he'll do well at United. It's just I hate that we're here, and that's my issue, that we're here again. And
point.
it's just another stalling summer.
I agree. No, I hear you, mate. I wish we could move a bit quicker. I wish we had the money just to right now go boom. I do agree. I want to be there. I suppose everyone's at a different stage of, not acceptance is the wrong word for it, but I was just so prepared for this. I think I've been in, when I see the way you're feeling, I felt like that 2 or 3 years ago. So I think there's this element of just stages that everybody's kind of at with things. And that's not to say you're right, I'm right, you're wrong. I think I do get it. Just check Gyökeres's dribbles, key passes, touches in and around the box. Much better than Nicky, is what AMT says. Ollie Watkins is underrated. He would have won Arsenal the league. He can easily get United top 5. David, you're a big fan of Watkins, right? You're a big fan of Watkins, right? You like Watkins, I think.
I've been a massive fan of Watkins ever since he was at Exeter.
Well, I remember you saying on shows years back.
He's an ex-G man.
Pat, are you with Henry that you did nothing wrong? Oh yeah, because you're in court soon, aren't you, for tapping up?
Yeah, I don't think we've done anything wrong. This stuff happens all the time. I just don't understand why Forest have made it such a big deal.
Hang on. So you mean you did do something wrong, you just got caught?
Don't do that to yourself, Patrick. I'm with you guys. I'm with Tottenham. I don't think they did anything wrong.
It's mental, like these.
No, but Marinakis is the man for justice. He's been after justice this summer with the Crystal Palace ownership thing, and when he sees an injustice going against his club, he's got to call it out.
I felt bad for Henry. You guys torched him, and he just didn't defend himself well. I think.
Well, no, because he just kept insulting Marinakis. He didn't try to defend himself.
Nah,
did his chair survive? He didn't go mad on his chair.
Not yet.
He didn't do nothing.
You know what? It's annoying that it's dragged on this long. I still think he's a Tottenham player by the end of the window, but yeah, it's just one of them things, man. It's one of them things.
Yeah. Patty, quick question, because I didn't follow it fully. Is there like an obscure number that they bid exactly, or was it just 60?
No, we hit the bid bang on. So they're trying to say for you to hit it bang on.
Oh, so it's like an obscure number. It's not like 60. Hold on. It's not like 60 M's and you bid 60 M's. It's like 63.2 or something, and you bid that.
No. The buyout or the release clause was 60 million, and for them. They're saying that, but they're trying to say that for us to know that it must have been inside information.
If I'm Tottenham, I bid 60 million.
Gordon Gecko FC, man. I know you guys.
I thought it was something different.
Either just bid 62 and go, we just slightly overpaid, or bid 50 and then keep going up until you hit the release clause and they go, they got there by
Tom, because 60 is a fair number.
Yeah, they got caught. No. They got the information. They didn't know what to do with it.
The release clause is 60 million, so we're not messing about. We gave them a 60
million. You've got to take a touch, man. If you've got information,
you shouldn't have known that his release clause was that
just go. No, it's like you know when if you cheat on a test, yeah. And you get 100%, you're an idiot because everyone's gonna be looking at you like
everyone knows you do a couple of wrong answers.
Yeah. When you normally only get 60%,
hindsight is a beautiful thing, man. Hindsight is a beautiful thing. Listen, if we would have bid 58.5, it was why didn't you just bid 60 million or 60 million?
No, because Patrick, no one knew what his release clause was. I didn't even know he had a release clause. It was only when you bid that it came out. So the fact that you got this information and you knew exactly all you need to pay.
What to bid?
Tease it a bit. Go for 58 and then, no, what can we do? Let's try again, 60. Oh, wait, you've accepted that? Oh, there was a release clause. How did anyone know that? Never mind.
Spurs with absolutely no foreplay is going straight for the finish line.
Great in there, yeah. And listen, I want to thank each and every single person who has tuned into the show today. I've loved it. It's been a great amount of fun. We're back tomorrow with more content. Straight Facts in the afternoon. I've got Ben Jacobs on in the evening as well. This is going to redirect you to Footy Judge Mo's channel, so go and support my brother over there. Listen, until next time, people, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And we'll see you all again soon. Peace.